Condemned by Zach Bryan is going to be played in standard tuning, and then you'll need to capo on the first fret. From this point forward, I'll be referring to the frets and the chord shapes as though this capo is the nut, and I'll be calling them frets 1, 2, 3, and 4, as opposed to the real fret numbers of 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I will call this shape an E, even though technically it's an F based on where we have our capo. All right, the song itself should be pretty approachable for all types of players. It just has 4 chords, a version of an A, an E major, a version of a B, and a version of what operates as our relative C sharp minor, or C sharp rather. The B, neither the B nor the C sharp have a third in the chord, so they're neither really major nor minor. So the first chord shape, you need an open 5-string. You need your, I use my ring finger on the 4-string 2 fret and my pinky finger on the 3-string 2 fret. You can use whatever finger configuration you want, but based on the fact that we're going to have to be playing basically some bar chords down here, in the long run, I feel like it makes most sense to use these 2 fingers, because out of this bar chord, you can take this shape and just slide those ring and pinky fingers down into what will become the next chord, which ultimately will be this A that is the first chord of the song, as like the verse cycles from part to part, or chorus cycles from part to part. So the first chord, this A, I would fret with the ring and pinky fingers on the 4 and 3 strings, 2 fret respectively. If you hit the open 6 string, it's not going to kill the chord. In fact, there are times in the song that you can hear Zach Bryan hitting that open 6 string on top of this A chord. Let me go ahead and address the strumming pattern for the verse as well, because this is really kind of what makes the song sound identifiable. That's the strumming pattern. What that is a down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. The first down will always usually be the root of whatever our chord is, so the open 5-string here is going to be the first down. The second down kind of fleshes out the rest of the strings, so down, down, and then the up, down is just kind of a quick flick of the wrist that goes up across the strings and back down across the strings. But like, so down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So first chord A. Second chord is going to be an E chord. So to move to this E chord, you will leave your ring finger where it was on the 4-string 2 fret. You will lift up your pinky finger, put your second finger down on the 5-string 2 fret, and your first finger, your pointer finger, needs to go down on the 3-string 1 fret. Open 6 string, open 2 and 1 strings on bottom, E major chord. So each one of these chords in the verse are getting like 2 rounds. Down, down, up, down, that's 1 round. Down, down, up, down, that's the second round. E chord, down, down, up, down, that's the first round. Down, down, up, down, that's the second round. This B chord, you need to move your ring and pinky fingers up to the relative 4th fret. I've got my ring finger on the 4-string 4 fret and my pinky finger on the 3-string 4 fret relative to our capo. And then with your first finger, you need to be barring across the 2nd fret. Now, what Zach Bryan is doing is sometimes you'll hear the 1 and 2 strings come out on this bar, but mostly what you hear is just the 6, 5, 4, and 3 come out on the strumming pattern. So if you want to tighten the zone of your strum to just string 6, 5, 4, and 3 on this, that would be fine and make sense, as opposed to a broader strum that incorporates the bar of strings 1 and 2. So again, every now and then I can definitely hear strings 1 and 2 sneak into the mix on the strum, but mostly the strum is more concentrated right here on the bass and mid end of our strings. So that's chord 3. Chord 4 is take this exact same shape that we've got right here and just slide it up 2 frets, so that now your first finger is going to be barring your first finger is barring the relative 4th fret of the guitar, but it's the real 5th fret. You'll be here on this dot. So your first finger is barring the relative 4th fret of the guitar. You've got your ring finger on the, what is this, 4-string relative 6th fret, and pinky finger on the 3-string relative 6th fret. Your first finger definitely, though, make sure, I should have mentioned this on the first bar chord, make sure that your first finger is grabbing string 6 and 5 here on the relative 4th fret, here on the relative 2 fret is what your first and second finger is grabbing. So, with this chord, same strumming pattern and same issue that every now and then I feel like you can hear the bar of strings 1 and 2 come in, but mostly the strum is more concentrated on strings 6 through 3. And then you just repeat. E to the B, to the C sharp, back to the A, to the E, to the B, to the C sharp. So you notice now what I was mentioning earlier about this finger configuration just sliding right back down into that A chord. That leaves us with the open 6 and 5 on bottom and the open 1 and 2 on top. The chorus of the song, the strum pattern will fall out and you'll just go to straight strums of like a strum of an A chord, and then let that cycle for basically the 2 counts. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then the E chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, then the B chord, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then the C sharp chord. Every now and then moving into the B chord, I feel like you can hear like a up down, like a chunk just across muted strings, and then the down is you're fretting the strings. So open chord, up, down, and then fret the chord on the down. Something along that. And then it'll just hold that C sharp, and then decay, and then back to our standard chord progression. So all in all, a pretty simple song in terms of memorization of chords, because there's just 4 chords that you need to memorize, and they cycle throughout the song. The only thing that changes is the strumming pattern will change between the verse and the chorus. So those are the chords and the movements to Condemned by Zach Bryan. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.